Welcome back to, to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. In this game, we're going to start a 4-game set. We're still testing out the game and seeing if there are any rough spots that we can iron out. This will be the 2022 Mets it's the Braves at the Mets. I've already messed it all up. So we'll go Braves at the Mets, and got it here. So the Braves go to New York, and they'll be facing off against the Metropolitans. And this is early season game. The Mets were leading the division all the way till almost the very last day, and so this was definitely not a good period for the Braves as far as how they were playing, and it was a very good time for the Mets. So we'll see how it plays out. Of course, these cards, these statistics always use the end of the season results, so you sort of don't get that flow of how, if a guy was playing badly in the early part, but he finishes great, you don't really get that struggle. So that's kind of one of the downsides of playing these games that are based off of full season stats. The only way really to get around that is to play with the stats of the players as they happen, playing sort of in real time, which would be kind of a cool game to play, but not sure what it would require to make a game like that. So let's get right into this one. Leading off for the Braves is Acuna in right. Olson is hitting second and at first base. Riley is at third base. And Marcell Ozuna is the cleanup man, hitting at the DH spot. Albies is at second. Darno is catching. Adam Duvall is still playing center field. Travis Demeritte is in left. And Dansby Swanson is the shortstop, batting ninth. If I remember, Swanson had kind of a tough start to the year, but finished great. For the Mets, it's going to be Nemo, Mark Canha in left, Lindor at short, Alonso is the cleanup man, Eduardo Escobar is the DH, J.D. Davis, no longer a Met, but was back then in 2022, playing third base, Starling Marte in right, Jeff McNeil is the second baseman, and James McCann is the catcher. So we got all of our charts over here. Again, we play with 3 D10 dice and 1 D6. We're going to read these dice red, white, and blue. This is hundreds, tens, and ones place. So first off is Ronald Acuna Jr. He's batting against Chris Bassett. So 1 to 3 goes to the batter. That's going to be a 951, and a 951 could be good things right off the bat. I don't know if you can see Acuna here. A 951 is going to be a double. That's laced into left center field. And Ronald Acuna standing up with the double to left. Brings up Matty Olson. Olson all the way over here. This goes off the pitcher card. So it's going to be a 3. A 3 is going to be a ground ball. So let's see where that grounder goes. Grounder goes right back to the pitcher, and we'll see if the pitcher can handle it. All the pitchers have an error rating of 0 because we don't have that data. So we have a 153 to a 0 is going to be a good catch. And let's see, we do have a place for the pitcher here. So this chart on the bottom at the back is for the pitcher. We have a runner at second base, so we're looking here. The pitcher has made the play. We have a 319, and a 319 is going to be a 1 to 3 put out, and the runner advances. So a little tapper to the second base side of the mound. We're going to go 1-3 on the put out, and fielder's choice. So 1 down with a runner at third base, and Austin Riley coming to the plate. This goes off the pitcher card again. It is a 700. 700 is going to be a strikeout, just inside his strikeout range. So maybe it was a foul tip. Next up, Marcell Ozuna, runner at third base, 2 outs. Needs a base hit, but he's not going to get one. A 360 is going to be a fly ball. That fly ball goes out to left field. And the left fielder is who? The left fielder is Mark Canha. Mark Canha is a +1, so that's definitely going to be a catch. And that's going to be a fly out to left in the inning. So the Braves get 1 on, but they strand him at third base. And we head to the bottom of the first inning. No score. It's going to be Maxwell Fried facing off against these New York Mets. Let's see if he can hold them in check. Fried up here. And first up is going to be Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo playing in center field. A 270 off Fried's card. It's going to be a ground ball. Fried throws a lot of ground balls. And that's going to be a grounder to short. The shortstop is Swanson. Swanson's a +1, so that's going to be a catch. And makes the play to first base. That's going to be 1 down. Brings up Mark Canha. Kennedy. It's going to be off the pitcher card, a 586. And that'll be a big strikeout for Maxwell Fried. Strikeout number 1 in the game. And we got 2 down with Frankie Lindor coming up to the plate. This is going to go off of Lindor's card. He's all the way over here. He's batting right-handed against the lefty Fried. A 241 is going to be a fly ball. And that fly ball goes out to... it's actually a pop-up to second base. The second baseman is Albies, I believe. Yeah. Second baseman is Ozzie Albies, who is a -1 on his error rating. So a 0.21, this could get interesting. A 0.21 on a -1 is an error as the ball pops out of his glove. Oh, you know what? He does make the play. So -1 is here. And it's a 31 to 100 that's an error. So he makes the play at second base. And that's going to end the inning. 1, 2, 3, go the Mets. In the bottom of the first, we head to the top of the second inning. Score tied at 0. And for the Braves, it's going to be the middle of their order steading in against Chris Bassett. Bassett, a right-handed pitcher. Had a good year. I think he no longer pitches for the Mets. But he'll be facing off against Ozzie Albies, Travis d'Arnaud, and Adam Duvall. Albie stands in. A 931 is going to be a hit off of the pitcher card. So let's see where that goes. We go back to Ozzie Albies card. So then we look in here, so you can see first base, second base, home run, triples. So we're looking inside this gray box. If it goes off the pitcher or the batter card, we're looking at these numbers over here. And then if it goes off the pitcher card, we look inside this little gray box. But it aligns with the singles, doubles, triples, home runs. So a 0.94 is going to be a base hit. As Bassett leaves a meatball out over the plate, and Ozzie Albies with the hit down the right field line. Ozzie is he runs at a 2, and the right fielder is Starling Marte. Marte's arm, let's see. When you hit the ball down the line or into the gap, you have a chance to take 2. So his arm is a 0, so we're going to challenge that. I'm going to challenge his arm and go for 2. Ozzie is sprinting out of the box. So His outfield arm is a 0. So when we roll anything from 101 to a 210, he is going to be out at second base. Otherwise, he's going to be safe. So pretty good odds here. And it is a 592. Yeah, so Ozzy is in there with a hustle double. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Makes sense to me. Alright, so Ozzy in with the hustle double. Again, that's only made possible because he hit it down the line to the 1 area or the 6 area, which is down the line. If he had hit it to the 3 or the 4, which is left center field, right center field, also would have had a chance. Just saw it last night. Riley hits one, picked up kind of deep in left center field and turns it into a double. So it does happen in the game. That's why I like having it in there. If you want to challenge the outfield arm. All right, brings up Travis d'Arnaud. This is going to go off of d'Arnaud's card. d'Arnaud up here. It'll be a 433. 433 is a line drive. And that's going to be a liner to left field. The left fielder is Canna. Canna is a +1 on his error rating. A 958 is going to be a catch. So he makes the out in left. So we'll go L7 on the put out. We've got a runner at second base. Let's analyze this a little bit. So it's a liner to left, runner at second base. Most of these are going to be no, you're not going to run. I think the normal play is that you're not going to be able to tag up. We'll roll against it anyway. See if there's even the chance. 355, there's not even the chance, so we're in the red. So even if we wanted to run with Ozzy Albies, can't do that. So runner stays at second base. Brings up Adam Duvall. Adam Duvall is here. A 588 is going to be a strikeout. So Bassett with a good pitch puts him away. And runner at second with 2 outs means Travis Demeritte has a chance to put the Braves on top. This is going to be off the pitcher card. And a 794. Oh, just into the hit range. So Demeritte gets a hit. Let's see what he does with it. 387 is going to be a base hit. So that's a 2-out base hit for Travis Demeritte down the left field line. So that's going to score 1. As Albies comes in on the single. Demeritte runs at a -1. Canna's arm is a 0, so that means instead of going off the outfield arm chart, you would have to excuse me, you'd have to roll off of this base running chart. And he's a -1, so he would be here in this chart. So only about a 50% chance of making it to second base. With Dansby up, we'll just let him hit away. So Demeritte stops, makes a big turn, but he stops at first. And that's going to bring up Dansby Swanson. A 271 off the pitcher is going to be a fly ball. That fly ball goes out to center field. The center fielder is Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo is a +1 on his error rating, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So that ends the inning, but not before the Braves get a clutch 2-out hit from Travis Demeritte, and they take a 1-0 lead over New York. All right, so sorry, bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Maxwell Fried against Alonso Escobar and JD Davis. 672 off of Freed's card is going to be another strikeout. That's strikeout number 2 in the game. He gives Alonso the slide piece. Brings up Escobar. Escobar is here. You can see him very well. And 48 is going to be a grounder. So let's see where that goes. It'll be a ground ball to the third baseman. The third baseman is Austin Riley. Riley is a -2. I believe he's playing third, right? Yeah. He's a -2, which kind of puts him in the worst error position on the chart. A 298 is going to be a good play, though, as he picks it. And he's going to fire over to first for out number 2. JD Davis to the plate. A 633 off the pitcher is going to be strikeout number 3 for Max Fried. Perfectly placed fastball. And an emergency hack from JD Davis. Comes up empty as we head to the top of the third inning. And the Braves come back to bat. They are going to be at the top of their order. So Acuna, Olsen, and Riley against Chris Bassett. They have a 1-0 lead in this one. This goes off of Acuna. So a 989, and that's going to be lifted high to left center field. The left fielder goes back to the track. He meets with the center fielder at the wall. They both look up, and it is out of here. Home run, solo bomb from Ronald Acuna Jr. as he puts a charge into the first pitch that he sees from Chris Bassett, and the Braves have a 2-0 lead now. Brings up Matty Olson. Let's see. We're off of Olson's card. A 150 is going to be a grounder. And that goes to first base. First baseman is Pete Alonso. Alonso is a 0, so league average in his errors, and he's going to make the play there. Let's see. Does he take it to himself by himself, or does he pitch it? Let's do some sharing. Sharing is caring. So he flips the ball to first, and the pitcher puts the out, records the out at first, and this is going to bring up Austin Riley. 621 off of Riley's card is going to be a strikeout. So strikeout number 3 for Bassett. Brings up Marcell Ozuna. 2 down, 1 already in for the Braves here in the third inning. This goes off of Bassett's card. This will be a 138. 138 is another ground ball. Throws a lot of ground balls. If you're in the 200s in the ground balls, definitely sort of a ground ball pitcher. You can see a lot of these guys are not quite there yet. So this is going to go to the first baseman. So Alonso with another chance, and he's going to make the play again. This time he's going to take it to the bag himself, and that's out number 3. But the Braves get 1 on the beautiful, arcing Ronald Acuna home run. Majestic even, you might say. And that's going to bring the Mets up. They're down 2-0 at home to the Braves. This game was played on May 2nd, 2022. It'll be the bottom of the order: Marte, McNeil, and McCann for the Mets. This goes off of Fried's card. That's going to be a fly ball. Fly ball goes out to center field. The center fielder is Adam Duvall. Duvall is a +1, I believe. He's a 0. He's a 0, so that means he's going to make the play out there. That's out number 1. What I'm looking at for errors is this error chart right here. So you can see he's a 0. So anything 1 to 30 is an error, or 981 to 1,000 is an error. So it's not very likely the guys are going to commit errors, especially on normal plays like that. Jeff McNeil is up. McNeil is all the way over here. So that's going to go off of his card. That's a 63, which will be a ground ball. The grounder goes to shortstop. Shortstop is Dansby Swanson. He's a +1, a 983. Oh, and we got an error. So we read it 983 and 981 to 1,000 for a +1. That's the only place where they can make an error. And Dansby Swanson just takes his eye off the ball, and he makes the error as Jeff McNeil gets on with the E6. So McNeil at first base. Is he a threat to steal? He runs at a +1, or his stealing is a 0. Who do we have? d'Arnaud. So we're looking at d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud is a stolen base of +1, which means combined with Max Fried, who is a +2, so that's a +3. So we say Jeff McNeil steal rating minus the +2, or minus the +3 is a -3. So we don't want to try to steal. Doesn't give you many opportunities when you steal with that. You can see on the chart here, stealing second if you're -2 or worse. It gives you about a 36 to 70. It gives you about a 35% chance of making it. So we're not going to do that. He's not fast enough. So he's going to be at first base. James McCann, catcher, to the plate. McCann is on the backside here. I don't think we need all these guys. We don't have anybody on that sheet. So James McCann is here in the middle. The 622 is going to be a strikeout for Max Fried. That's strikeout number 4. As he gets the punch out, 2 outs now with the runner at first base. Back to the top of the order with Brandon Nimmo. This is going to come off of Nimmo's card. A 119 will be a grounder, I believe. Yep. So that grounder goes to second base. That'll be Ozzie Albies. Albies is a -1 error rating. Could be another error, 968 to a -1. And he narrowly avoids it. So we need to roll off of our chart here. We got a runner at first base, and it's hit to the second baseman. 351 is going to be here. That's a 4-3 putout, and that's going to end the inning. As Albies makes the play to first to Olson, and that's going to end any threat the Mets might have had. They leave 1, and they are still down 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th inning. Bassett's got a good stamina rating. He can go 25 batters. He's only at, I don't know, what is that? 13 or so. So he's going to be facing off against Albies, d'Arnaud, and Adam Duvall. This is off of Albies' card. 620 is another strikeout for Bassett, as Albies goes down swinging. And that's strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4 on the day. Brings up the catcher, d'Arnaud. This goes off the pitcher card, though. 882 is going to be a hit for d'Arnaud. Let's see what he does with the pitch. That'll be an 86. That's a base hit. To left center field. Scorches one just past the shortstop Lindor. And Travis d'Arnaud on at first. Not going to steal with d'Arnaud. So we got Adam Duvall to the plate. Duvall is here. It's going to be a 694. That's a strikeout for Bassett. Strikeout number 5. And Travis Demerit stands in. A 675 comes off of Bassett's card. 675, another strikeout. So a base hit sandwiched between 3 strikeouts. And that's going to be it for the Braves in the top of the 4th inning. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, the Mets are down 2-0 against Max Fried. And a little bit of a hole to climb out of here in the back half of the game. Sorry, the middle of the game. It's going to be Canna, Lindor, and Alonso, so they got some thumpers coming up. This is off of Fried. That'll be a ground ball. Ground ball goes to second base. Albies is a -1. A 914 to a -1 is going to be a good play as he gloves it, gets it over to Matty Olson. And that'll be out number 1. Brings up Frankie Lindor. And Lindor, a 596, is going to be a strikeout. So Fried and Bassett both feeling it with the strikeouts today. That's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Maxwell Fried, I believe. Bassett has 6, looks like. It's going to come off the pitcher card. It's a 630. 630 is going to be another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Max Fried as he ends the inning on a high note. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets in the bottom of the 4th inning, who are having a hard time swinging the bats against Mr. Fried. Fried, the runner-up in the 2022 Cy Young voting. So lots of people had a hard time with Max Fried. And that's going to bring up Dansby Swanson first for the Braves. Be Swanson, Acuna, and Olson. This comes off the pitcher. A 988 is going to be a hit for Dansby. A 45, that'll be a base hit. And that is in the hole to left. And Dansby's going to be on with a base knock. His first time on base. And Swanson he runs at a 3, but his steal rating is a 0. Not sure what the ratings are for catcher. Catcher is McCann. He throws at a +1. And Bassett is a +1. So I'm not going to try to steal here. Especially with Ronald up. Ronald 2 for 2. He's got a home run, a double, and an RBI. This comes off the pitcher card. That's another hit for Ronald. And let's see what kind of damage he does here. A 133 is going to be a single for Acuna. I don't know. You can see him over here. A 133 is going to be a single. And that's a single to right field. Definitely going to push Swanson 1 base. And a single to right. We can try to advance if we want to. Dansby runs at a 3. The right fielder is Starling Marte. Marte has a 0 arm, so that's going to be off of this chart here. Let's go ahead and try to advance. Let's go ahead and try to advance Dansby Swanson to 3rd. The only chance to get him is going to be a 101 to a 210, so 853. Dansby makes it to 3rd on the single. So that's runner advancement. Might seem like a lot, but boy, if you watch a game, guys are just advancing all over the place. So runners at the corners, nobody out. This is going to be off the batter card. The batter is Matty Olson. A 420 is going to be a line drive. And that is a liner to right field. So line drive to right field. It's who do we say? Marte and right. Marte is a +1, so good fielder. He's going to make the catch out there. So we're going to say L1 or L9. So he makes the catch in right. We have Dansby Swanson at third. He runs at a 3. Let's see if he can tag up or not. So we get our line drive chart. This time we're looking at the right fielder, kind of runner at third base. There's a few where you hold. That would be like a short liner. So 682, and that's going to be one of those. So a little short liner to right field, and can't make a play for home. So the runner's going to hold at third base with 1 out. Runners at first and third. Chance to get out of this one for Bassett if he gets a ground ball. 267. Not going to get the ground ball. This is going to be a fly ball, so a chance maybe for a sac fly. It's Austin Riley to the plate, by the way. 199. Fly ball is going to be to left field. And who is the left fielder? The left fielder is Canna. Canna's a +1, but he has a 0.50. So he's going to make the play there. So we're going to say F7 as he does make the play in left. Dansby is at third. He's ready to go. Less than 2 outs. We need to look at our fly ball chart. Does he get a chance to score on this? Well, that's not the right one. All right, so we have a fly ball chart. Yellow is the gamer's decision. Red is to stay. Green is to go. It's a hit to left. Everything is green or yellow. And I tell you, I'm not even going to roll because either way, I want to send him. So he runs at a 3. The left fielder, Canna, has a -3 arm. You can see he doesn't have a great arm. So we are going to go ahead and run this one out. We need to use the outfield arm chart, and it's here. So anything from 31 to 100, he's going to be out at the plate. Otherwise, he's safe skis. 789, and Dansby Swanson comes in ahead of the throw, and that's going to be another run for the Braves as we get a sac fly. And Swanson comes in on the fly ball. I have to figure out how to deal with the runner at first. I can't imagine Acuna wouldn't be trying to get to second base. But we'll leave him there at first for now. Sacrifice fly makes it 3-0 Braves. And Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna hits a ground ball. It's going to be a grounder to the first baseman. The first baseman is Alonso. Alonso will make the play. And let's see what he does with the ball here. Got a runner at first base, so it's here. It's a 791. 791 is here. And that's going to be a 3-1 put out. So he tosses it to the pitcher covering. And that's going to be the third out. But the Braves put another run on the board. It's 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Braves manufacture a run there in the top of the 5th. Nice job of getting the runners around, taking the extra bases. I don't know that I'm going for... I guess I'm going for realism. I'm calling it precision baseball because I'm trying to be as precise as humanly possible while still having a playable game. And not just having it be a simulation of what has been, but actually a game. So, but I want it to be as precise as possible. Sometimes I was listening to somebody do a game the other day. They were playing payoff pitch or something, and it was like you kept getting results that didn't make sense. It wasn't that they didn't make sense in their outcome. It's that they didn't make sense of like, how did you get there? So there's a lot of just roll and this happens, and it's not a lot of process necessarily. It just kind of randomly, this is the thing that happens. But I feel like with a game like this, the play is unfolding, and you feel the labor of the game, which I do feel the labor of the game. But I feel like the play is unfolding in front of your face, right? So there's, what is it what type of hit is it? Did he make contact? If he made contact, where did it go? Did that guy make the play? If he made the play and there were runners on base, what happened, right? I feel like and then if they make the play in the outfield, does he try to take an extra base, or you get a base hit? Does he try to take the extra base? And what does that mean? How do you work that out, taking the extra base? And you can see that there's not a ton of math in this, but it is a laborious kind of process. But I feel a lot of satisfaction in at least being able to see the play unfold in front of my face rather than roll and then it's like single plus an error, which happened multiple times in the game to the same player. And I was like, what are the odds? Not very good of that happening. And you don't know the process. How in the world did how did it happen? I don't know. It just feels like you skip a lot to get to that end result. And the end result is a little wacky. And so you don't really get to see how that end result played out. So to me, this game feels a little laborious, but it also feels like I'm participating in the game in a different level. Like I'm able to see how things happen. So that's one of the things I enjoy about this game. It's not a quick game, but it is a thorough game. All right, so we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Maxwell Fried. He's at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 batters himself. And this will be Escobar, Davis, and Marte. Escobar is here. It's going to be a strikeout as Max Fried puts it right in there. And that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Ks for Max Fried. All right, and next up is JD Davis. This goes off of Fried's card. 528, that's another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks. Actually, he struck out the last 4 Mets. And we head to Starling Marte, who flied out in his first at-bat. Another one off of Fried's card. This will be a ground ball. Let's see where that goes. This will be a grounder to short. And the shortstop is Swanson. He's a +1. He's going to make that play. As he wings it over to the first baseman Olsen. That's out number 3. And another 1-2-3 inning for Max Fried as he carries a 3-0 lead into the top of the 6th inning. So Bassett's at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 batters. He can go 25 before we need to make any sort of adjustments. So maybe one more inning here in the 6th. Brings up Ozzy Albies. Albies is here. That will be a strikeout for Chris Bassett. Bassett hasn't pitched badly, for sure. Gave up the home run here, gave up a double and a 2-out single. He's been almost out of it a couple times. Almost weaseled out of this first and third last inning. So one down, and in steps Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher. Here is a 184. That's going to be a grounder. That ground ball goes to short. The shortstop is Lindor. He's a +4 on his errors, so he's going to make a routine play at third, get it over to Alonso at first, and that'll be out number 2. Brings up the center fielder, Adam Duvall. This is off the pitcher card. It'll be another hit, 876. And for Duvall, he is here. A 346 is going to be a single over the second baseman's head into right field. Duvall runs at a 3, and the center fielder is, who is that? Brandon Nimmo. His arm is a -3. So I think we're going to go ahead and challenge that as Duvall puts one into the gap. And you can see here less than 0 is here. A 31 to 100. As Duvall with sneaky speed, kind of a big guy, but sneaky speed, a 984 means he's going to slide in there just ahead of the tag. As Nimmo took a minute to get to the ball, so he's going to turn that into a double. Hustle double out of the box as he splits the outfielders, and Nimmo has to try to get it in quickly. Throws a little off target, and by the time they got the tag on him, he was safe. And that's going to bring up Travis Demeritte. Demeritte with the single already and an RBI. Another chance here. A 383 is not going to get it done though. So that's a fly ball. The fly ball goes out to center field. Nimmo a better fielder than a thrower of the ball, so he's going to make the play out in center, and that's going to end the inning. So the Braves get one in scoring position, but they can't bring him home. Duvall with the 2-out double, but Demeritte can't come through with a second 2-out base hit, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Max Fried and the Braves are up 3-0 on the Metropolitans. Fried at 16 batters, so doing really well. He's got a 24 stamina. Bassett is past his stamina, so we'll have to do something the next inning. It's going to be the bottom of the order, McNeil and McCann, and then back to Nimmo at the top in the 6th inning for the Mets. 153 off of Fried's card is going to be a grounder. That ground ball goes to second base. Albies is a -1, but he's going to make the play there. We go 4-3 on the putout, and that's out number 1. Brings up James McCann. McCann, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. This will be not a strikeout as he gets the bat on the ball. Where is he? He's here. So a 201 is going to be a fly ball as he lifts this one. And that goes to left field. The left fielder is Travis Demeritte. Demeritte is a 0 on his error rating. And so he's going to make the play out in left field. That's a can of corn. And that's out number 2. Brings up Nimmo. Nimmo is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. This time he has got a 951 chance here for a base hit, and that's going to be a double down the left field line. And Brandon Nimmo cruising into second base with a 2-bagger. So 2-out double for Nimmo brings up Mark Canha. Chance to put the Mets on the board here. This is a 676 off the pitcher card, and Max Fried shuts him down with another strikeout. That's going to be out number 3. So the Mets strand a runner at second base. The 2-out double from Nimmo goes for naught, and the Braves still lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the 7th. Need to get a new pitcher in here. And who do we have? Oh, we have some people on the backside here. Let's see, we're in the 7th. So let's go Lugo Ottavino. Nobody has any special markings like against left-handers or anything like that. So let's go with Seth Lugo, longtime pitcher for the Mets. So Bassett is going to go 6 innings. He gives up 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned. I don't remember him walking anybody. No walks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. So nice start for him. He's not going to figure into the decision, but a good strikeout or a good game for him. That's going to be 26 batters faced, and he's on the hook for the loss. Going to bring in Lugo, Seth Lugo, right-handed pitcher, longtime reliever for the Mets, setup guy. Got a great slider, curveball, plus fastball for most of his career. He's going to be facing off against Dansby Swanson, and then back to the top with Acuna and Olsen. Acuna going for the cycle. See if he can do that. This will be Lugo against Swanson. 65 is going to be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to second. The second baseman is who? Jeff McNeil. McNeil is a +3 on his error rating, so really nice play there from Jeff McNeil as he makes the play to first. Let's go and mark that. 4-3 on the putout, and Dansby Swanson down for the second time in this game. Brings us back to Ronald Acuna. Acuna again looking for the triple. This is going to be a 488, and it doesn't look like he's going to get it there. 488 is going to be a strikeout. So Lugo gets him on the bender. Yeah, that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Matty Olson. 292 to Olson. Oh, I'm sorry, to the pitcher. 292 is going to be a fly ball. As Olsen gets under this one. And that will be a pop-up to the second baseman. The second baseman is McNeil. And he's going to be out on the outfield grass and right. And he makes the play for out number 3. 1, 2, 3 go the Braves in the 7th inning. Nice inning from Lugo. Still 3-0 Braves as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Max Fried still in the game. Trying to give manager Brian Snitker as much as he can. And he is at 18, 19, 20 batters. He can go 24. Chance even for 2 more innings if he gets through this pretty quickly. Not going to get through this one quickly. So this is going to be Frankie Lindor. A 937 to Lindor is going to be a double. That's a double down the left field line. And Lindor pulls in with the double. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, so Frankie Lindor at second base with nobody out. The dangerous Pete Alonso, the polar bear, to the plate. So this goes off of Fried's card. A 761 is going to be a walk. So Fried may be starting to lose it just a little bit as he has runners at first and second and nobody out. Brings up Eduardo Escobar. A 060 to Escobar is going to be a ground ball. Could be just what the doctor ordered. Let's see. That's a grounder to third base. So Riley is there. Let's see if he gloves it. 844. He is going to make the play. And let's see what happens on the play. So first and second base is what we got. This is a 264 with runners at first and second. It says 5-4 DP question mark. So he goes 5-4 on the put out, and let's see if they can make the turn. Riley's double play number is a -1. So we are going to go off of his double play number. He's a -1, so we need a 101 to 360 for a double play. And don't get that, so that's going to be a fielder's choice to second base. So we were right here. So it's a fielder's choice to second base, and then the runner advances to third. Right. So we get 5-4. And the runner is at first on the fielder's choice. All right, so runners at the corners and only one out. Big spot here for the Braves as they're up 3-0 against the Mets. The Mets looking to make a dent in the scoreboard. A 165, and who's batting? J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis, a 165 is another ground ball from Fried. Let's see. This will be an 875, so that's a grounder again to third base. So Riley's going to get another shot at it. He makes the play at third, and let's see. The runners are at first and third now, which means they're coming out of a whole different column. 710 is this big one here, so that's going to be an automatic 5-4-3 double play. So this time Riley completes. We don't have to roll for it, and that's going to get Fried out of the inning. 5-4-3. It's going to get Riley out of the inning, having given up no runs. Yeah, first and third with one out, and the Mets can't get him home. Heading to the top of the 8th inning, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Ottavino, the right-hander. So Lugo goes 1 inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 K. And he faced 3 batters. And he's able to hold the Braves at 3 runs. Let's see if Ottavino can hold them. It's going to be Riley, Ozuna, and Albies. This is off the pitcher card. So we can get that here. 416 is a line drive. That'll be a liner to second base. The second baseman is a plus, what is he? I mean, Neal's a +3, so he's going to make that play as we get an L4. And it's going to be out number 1. Well, that's pretty terrible. Okay. Anyway, out number 1. As Riley hits it hard, he stings it, but he hits it right to McNeil at second base. Brings up Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna with a 671, and that's going to be a strikeout for the Big Bear. A couple of bears in this game. Got the polar bear and the big bear. And that brings us to Ozzie Albies, the diminutive second baseman. 237 to Albies is going to be a fly ball. So he gets under this one. That's going to go out to right field. He's batting left-handed against the right-handed Ottavino. Goes out to right field. Starling Marte is a +1. So a 351 is going to be a good catch. And that's going to end the inning. So fly ball to right. Ottavino comes in, sets the Braves down 1-2-3. Still 3-0 our score as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Couple more chances for the Mets to score in this one. We're at 27, 28, 29. Oh, I'm sorry. He's at 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's right at his stamina, but he hasn't passed it, so we're going to count this as a regular inning for Fried. If he goes out there past his stamina, then we would bump him down in some way, which would be everything would go off the batter cards. So as it is, he's in line for a chance at a complete game. He'll be facing off against Marte, McNeil, and James McCann. 643 off of Starling Marte's card is another strikeout. And that'll be out number 1 in the 8th. Fried still looking strong in this one. It's going to be a 660 or a 626, and that's going to be back-to-back Ks in the 8th as Max Fried getting better as the game goes along. One sort of hiccup inning, otherwise he has been cruising. 331 off of Fried is going to be a fly ball. Fly ball goes to left field. The left fielder is Demerit. Demerit's a 0 on his error rating. A 955 could be interesting, but he does make the play as he has to make a nice running catch on that one. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Max Fried. 3-0 is our score, Braves over the Mets, as we head to the top of the 9th inning. They are going to bring in Edwin Diaz. Keep this game close. So Ottavino goes no hits, no runs, no walks, 1K. Identical line to Seth Lugo. And that's going to bring in Edwin Diaz. He'll face off against the bottom of the order, d'Arnaud, Duvall, and Demerit. .475 to d'Arnaud is going to be a strikeout as Diaz comes out throwing bullets, and that's out number 1. He had something ridiculous, like a 50% strikeout percentage or something. It was crazy. A 113 that comes off the pitcher. 113 is going to be a grounder. As Duvall makes contact, that goes to short. The shortstop is Lindor. He's a +4. So 196 is going to be a good play. As Lindor gets it over to Alonso at first, and that's going to be out number 2. Brings up Travis Demerit. This comes off Demerit's card. He's here. A 957. That's going to be a 2-bagger for Demerit, who laces one into the gap. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. And he's going to be standing up at second base with 2 down. And Dansby Swanson, a chance to add to the lead with a base hit. A 616 for Swanson is going to be a strikeout, though, as he misses a nasty fastball. And the Braves strand one at third. And we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Max Fried trying to close this one out. We have the closer, Kenley Jansen, in the wings. And you might get a chance to see a rare shutout in 2022. A rare complete game shutout on top of that. Doesn't happen very often. All right, top of the order up, Nemo, Canna, and Lindor for the Mets. So if Fried does it, he's going to earn this one. And what happens is everything is going to come off of because he's past his stamina when he goes out. He's at 27 batters. So that's past his stamina when he starts the inning. Then we're going to have everything go off of the batter card. So Should make it a little bit easier to see everything. Let's do it like that. See, we've shifted a little. Okay. Alright, so we're sort of ignoring this for the moment. And a 191 off of Nemo's card is going to be a ground ball. That grounder goes to third base. Third baseman is Riley. He's going to make the play. And that's over to first for out number 1. Brings up Mark Canna. 469. That'll be a strikeout for Fried. As he's been racking them up, that must be 10 or 12 in the game for him. We'll find out when this one is over. And final chance is Frankie Lindor. Lindor is batting right-handed against the lefty Fried. 399 is going to be a line drive. Let's see if the Braves can make the play for the final out. 657, that's going to be a liner to right field. That's Acuna in right. He is a 0 on his error rating, and he's going to make the play there. Coming in hard on it and catches it just above the grass for the final out. And 3 up, 3 down go the Mets in the 9th inning, and the Braves are going to win this one 3-0 behind a complete game shutout for Max Fried. Let me go through and run the numbers, and we'll be back to talk about them. All right, and we are back. Tallied up all the totals here. That's going to be 3 runs on 9 hits, 1 error for the Braves. No runs on 2 hits, 0 errors for the Mets. Max Fried gets the win, goes 9 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk and 12 Ks. So a 2-hit shutout for Max Fried. The loss goes to Chris Bassett, 6 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 7 Ks and no walks. The bullpen did a good job of throwing up zeros, but the Mets had 1 good scoring opportunity here and just couldn't put it together, but that was their best scoring opportunity of the day. Big day for Ronald Acuna. He's 3 for 4 with a home run and 1 run and 1 RBI. He was 1 hit shy, a triple shy of the cycle. And most everything else was not much going on for the Braves. 2 for 4 for Travis Demeritte, as he had an RBI as well. So that is Precision Baseball. And again, just 3D10 dice, 1D6. And you have all the charts here. So this is the main chart that you play off of with the player finder and all of the base running, stealing. This is a secondary chart for fly balls and with men on base, and then line drives to all the different fielders when they're men on base, and just runner advancement. You don't use those charts but maybe 2 or 3 times a game, so this is the main chart that you're going to use along with this one here. So these 2 charts are really the main ones that you use. This is the ground balls with runners on base, and then what happens on each play. So you have your base out, your base situation, your runner situation, runner on first, second, third, first and second, first and third, second and third, and then bases loaded. And then you just roll against that, and you can use a D10, 3D10s, 2D10s, or 1D or 2D6s, and you can get to these numbers. So theoretically, you could use this chart for most any game out there, most games. So with bases loaded, for instance, and the number is a 700, you would use these right here. So it'd be a 4-6-3 double play to the second baseman. And then you're just looking at each one. There are some kind of rare and unusual plays as you get to the smaller numbers. So these numbers are going to hit usually at a smaller rate. These are going to be your normal numbers through the middle. Especially if you use 2D10s, it's going to be like this chunk here, through the middle is going to be your normal. Rolls And we have a chart for double plays, or if you have to roll off of the batters grounded into double play, then you would use this chart up here. And this is what we're checking for the errors every time. I haven't incorporated range yet, but that'll happen with the next iteration of the fielding. We got the outfield arm chart that we use, tagging and extra base chart when you want to look at the runners' ratings. And then we have stealing, second, third, and home. So these two, again, are your main charts, and then these charts here are going to be used every so often for when there are fly balls or line drives with runners on base. Trying to make this as precise as possible, as precise as I can. That's the entire name of the game, and still a long-term project. Hopefully you've been enjoying the test games that I'm playing, and really just trying to stress test it and make sure that everything is playing out. The next iteration will be fielding, and like advanced fielding, and rare or unusual plays that happen if you get three of a kind, right? So if your number comes up 333 like that, then normally that would be I suppose it depends on the batter, but let's say like Jack Hager here, a line drive for him, 333 would be a line drive. So then we would have a line drive that would trigger a line drive rare play. For other batters, let's say for Matt Olson, a 333 would trigger a fly ball rare play. And then you would have some kind of wackiness that happens on the fly ball. Probably have to roll again for some of them. If you've played the game of dice baseball, it'd be something similar to that, but maybe not quite as extensive as those. There's a lot of rare plays. There's like 100 rare plays in that game. So maybe not quite that much, but maybe so. We'll see. I mean, we have 1,000 chances, right? So you could do literally 1,000 things that could happen for each individual play. So that's an opportunity in the future as well, whenever you come up with a three of a kind. So that is the game. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please click on the subscribe button. And if you click the little bell icon, you'll be notified when new videos come out, which probably, I'm not on a very regular schedule. Just kind of depends on what else I'm doing. I've been doing some creation of the Korean Baseball League for 2022 using the card maker that I released not too long ago, and the how to build baseball cards and dice game. So that's been kind of cool to go through and see the Korean League stats and put those things together. So that's coming along, and I'll release that on the Facebook group. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can. I'll put the link in the description, or you can just search for Clark and Addison Gaming Company and find the Facebook group there. It's a private group, so you don't have to worry about any craziness or mess going on. Just answer a couple questions, and then we'll let you in, and you'll get kind of exclusive materials, posts that I don't post anywhere else. Things like I'm talking about the Korean Baseball League. I think it's called the KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, I think is what they call it. But I lived in Korea for 4 years, so that's something I'm familiar with the teams, familiar with the companies that represent those teams, and not familiar with the players. It's been a long time since I lived there, but every once in a while you get American players that go over there and play in Korea, and it's kind of cool to see. Yasiel Puig, is that right? Is it Yasiel Puig? I think so. That he's playing over there, or he was in 2022, and a couple of other names that you would recognize. But guys who are hurt or cut, or trying to revive their careers or whatever, and they're over there. Guillermo Heredia, who was on the 2021 Braves championship team, was tearing it up in 2022 in the Korean leagues. He was one of the top 5 hitters, or maybe this year. I can't remember if it's this year or last year, but playing really well over there. So getting a chance to play every day. And so it's kind of cool to see some of the former MLB players playing over there, and then seeing that mixed with, just the talent that the Korean leagues have. So hopefully that'll be released sometime. I don't know. I've always got things going. I was trying to work out dice football still. It's like a thorn in my side. I just can't seem to get it. I mean, I think No Huddle is a great game. It's more of a replay game, though. You don't really get a ton of choices that you can make throughout the game, other than maybe going for it, or you can choose to run or pass or whatever, but not a lot of formation choices and things like that. So still working on a game where you could do that, and I have the bones for one that I put together not long ago, and so that's out there. Just kind of dinking my way through that and seeing if there's a way to add individual player cards to that sort of format. Before it was just kind of team based, and maybe I can have individual players influencing each of the plays, and then how would that go? And it's not it'll be kind of like this game where it's quite a bit of sort of step by step rolling through the play, but I think there's certainly a group of gamers that don't mind football games taking a little bit longer. But if you're looking for kind of a quicker playing football game, hour and a half, No Huddle Football is a great one. Got the 2022 season and the 1978 season, so first classic season that I've released. And those are available at clarkandaddisongaming.com. Clark and A-N-D Gaming, Addison, A-D-D-I-S-O-N, clarkandaddisongaming.com. And you can check out that. I've got all sorts of baseball games, and Up-Tempo is there, and I'll be porting over Triple Threat basketball as well, which I just have the one season or one group of the all-time NBA top 75 team. So you can get those as well. So that shouldn't be too much to bring those over. And still trying to get all of my material over onto one website. So still developing games, very much so. Golf is on the back burner, but I'm thinking about it. I love golf, so kind of excited about golf, but maybe I'll release that for the beginning of next year, or before baseball maybe. I can work on that this winter as well. Winter is setting in. Winter's not setting in, but it feels like that in our minds in Chicago. So fall definitely setting in, and I don't know. I think that's it. Just keep updated. Join the Facebook group, and you'll get the updates along the way. And every once in a while, you'll see me post to some of the other Facebook groups. I don't want to flood those with my own stuff when I have an avenue for doing that. So whether it's this channel or it's on the Facebook group, you can get updates for games that I'm working on. Precision Baseball is coming along. Again, I'll be adding in using some of these hard hit and barrel numbers that'll come into play when we're doing the fielding. So is that going to give a batter or a fielder a chance to get to the ball, or is it hit so hard that's going to decrease his error rating or something like that? So it's going to be more difficult to catch a ball that's been barreled. It's going to be more difficult to catch a ball that's been hard hit, and when those have been hit like that, maybe there will be a barrel chart or something like that for when there's a line drive, but the ball's been barreled. I mean, maybe an opportunity for a home run where you wouldn't have one before, that type of thing. So we'll see how that all works out. Just got to kind of think through it. I have the numbers, but I need to know how it works in the game engine itself. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.